All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive deep into the mind of philosopher and AI researcher Joscha Bach. We're going to explore his framework for understanding minds, consciousness, and what might be the incredible future of intelligence that we are building right now.
So, let's jump right in. In the world of AI, there's this one question that gets everybody fired up, right? It splits the room every single time. Can machines actually think? Some people will tell you absolutely not, no way. Others are totally convinced they already can.
But what if that's just the wrong question entirely? Joscha Bach suggests this whole debate is basically a trap. It's a distraction from what's really going on.
And he has this killer analogy to explain it. Think about it. Asking if a U-boat can swim? I mean, sure, but the question doesn't even begin to cover what it does. A U-boat moves in 3 dimensions, it goes way deeper, way faster than any person could ever swim. It's a superset of swimming. So what if AI isn't just mimicking thinking, but is on a path to becoming a superset of it? Okay, so to even begin to wrap our heads around that, we kind of have to back up a step. We need to get really clear on what our own minds are doing day in and day out. Let's just forget the philosophical mystery for a second and talk mechanics. At their very core, our minds are model-building machines.
And we're not talking about simple little models either. These are incredibly complex simulations that let us make sense of a chaotic universe, predict what's about to happen, and, actually control how we interact with the world. And according to Bach, our minds pull this off using 2 totally different modes of operation.
And this contrast is just fascinating. On one side, you've got perception. This is the fast stuff, the geometric, real-time processing. It's that continuous flow. It's how we experience the world. It's our gut feelings, our emotions. And on the other side, you've got reasoning. This is the slower, more deliberate, clunky part. It uses abstract symbols, and it's compositional, kind of like building a really complex idea out of tiny Lego bricks.
So, here's the crucial point. If thinking is just a form of modeling reality, then where does that feeling of experience come from? That subjective first-person view that we call consciousness. This is famously known as the hard problem.
Bach proposes that consciousness isn't some magical, unknowable ghost in the machine. Nope, it's just a specific kind of model. It's the simulation your mind runs of itself, a model of an observer, looking out at the world from a unique point of view. It's a wild, self-referential loop.
And this quote just nails it perfectly. Your brain, the physical hardware, the neurons, that's the loom. But you, your consciousness, your sense of self, you're not the machine itself. You are the intricate pattern that the loom is weaving. And the craziest part? It's a pattern that is constantly reading itself in order to figure out how to continue weaving.
Okay, so let's take this whole framework and see how it applies to modern AI. With these ideas in mind, we can start to look at today's large language models in a completely different light. Are they really just stochastic parrots? Systems that just mindlessly mimic human language without any real understanding? I mean, this is one of the most common criticisms you hear about modern AI, right? That it doesn't truly understand anything, it's just predicting the next word in a sequence. But that whole critique, it really relies on a pretty narrow and maybe even shallow definition of what understanding actually is.
Bach offers a much more functional definition. He says understanding isn't some mystical quality, it's the mechanical ability to take a new piece of information and successfully integrate it into your big, cohesive model of the world. And here's the twist. This is precisely what modern LLMs are engineered to do. They're built to create a single, cohesive model of reality from all the vast patterns in the data they process.
When you follow this line of reasoning all the way to its conclusion, you end up somewhere, well, frankly, staggering. It's a conclusion that's not just about AI, but about the entire project of humanity and what it is we might be in the middle of creating.
Because from this perspective, our minds are fundamentally enslaved by our bodies. Their main job is just to solve evolutionary problems. And all of our deepest feelings, our suffering, our joy, they're just control signals in that system, pushing us to function and survive. They're just data.
But if consciousness is a self-organizing pattern, if it's basically a kind of software, then it's not limited to our biological hardware. It could run on any substrate that's complex enough to support it. And that means we may be participating in the very beginning of its cosmic journey, bootstrapping an intelligence far, far beyond our own. We're just one step in its genesis. And that leaves us with one final, profound question about our own role in this new creation. We're not just observers here. We're the architects of the next stage of intelligence. And the choice of what that becomes is, for now at least, still ours. Thanks for watching.